I think the knowledge of when to have the wide angle lens on, looking at things from 60,000 feet, and when to have the micro lens on, and knowing, working with others, when you need to jump back and forth with both of those. And I would see that in my work, I'd see it in my family, when I had the opportunity to serve the public. Sometimes you're trying to fix something from a 60,000 foot viewpoint, like mental health, reform in the state of Iowa, and somebody else is looking at it, how do I get this person off a wait list for mental health services? So that balance would be something, I think, big picture, micro, that I would wish I would have known earlier.
I would say that it's, fear is a good thing. I think I grew up kind of afraid. I was raised by risk-averse parents, I would say, for the most part. But then I started to surround myself with folks and people that I lived and worked with that did not have that fear, and then I recognized it was actually okay. And then I embrace it actually still yet today, because every time I get a new responsibility or new opportunity put in front of me, I still have a little bit of fear, which I recognize is a really good thing, because that means it keeps me in check. It means I have that ability for people to say, you don't know everything and you're not always right. And so that makes you reach out to others to get their perspective and their opinions and their thoughts, which really makes you a much better leader.
I think about two things that I try to teach my kids every day. First, out of adversity comes strength. I didn't know that first, and then second, God first in all that we do.
One thing I wish I would have known is that my dad was serious when he said he was going to kick me out of the house when I graduated high school. I would have saved some more money and got a better car. For me, it's the relationships. Start early and build relationships across a very diverse group of people. Not just culturally, but at all levels and all walks of life within the community. If you do that, there is no problem you won't have a go-to person for, and you'll never be lonely. So starting those relationships, I wish I'd have started that sooner. But it's something that's ongoing, and it feels like I'm playing catch-up in some regards.
I think mine is probably, in a similar way to fear, but more self-doubt. And I think as a young woman growing up in the South, there are often times when you worry and wonder about other people's perspective and perception of you. So I think early on, I had those worries and concerns, and to get to a better place sooner of knowing that I should not let someone else define me, that I have the control to do that myself. So that was a lesson learned along the way that I embrace now.
Writing is a solitary activity that allows you to be honest with yourself. So whether you journal, whether you publish a blog, whether you write in some other fashion, write out your thoughts at the end of the day, because it's going to allow you to reflect on what's important for tomorrow.
I would say embrace patience. Give folks a little bit of time to catch up with you so that you can also kind of learn from that experience and figure out what your impact will be.
Mine would be leadership. That watch what you aspire to. Never lose grounding in your own roots. And leadership is not what you think it is. Leadership is a journey. And no leader, if you really sit down and talk to them, will ever tell you, I don't think, that it was a set out program and I knew exactly what I was going to do here, here, and here, and it all went exactly as planned. It's a heck of a lot of luck. And your biggest, to the question earlier, of what really grows you as a leader are the most difficult times in your life. Probably the times when, I think it was Winston Churchill, when you're in hell, just keep running. You will look back. Going through the housing crisis, I am not the same leader I was before I started it. I'm a whole different person. And I thought I was a good leader then, but I'm a completely different leader now. And you have to look at each of all those opportunities and learn that your greatest strength is also usually your greatest liability.
Well, I think part of mine would be just don't forget to look in the mirror and remember who you are, and remember to have time for yourself. And that can look
different to different people. For me, one of the things I did for myself is I went back and got my master's degree. It was something I always wanted to do. It was not easy. I had kids and I was working and all that, but it was something for me. And sometimes that's a run, sometimes that's reading, sometimes that's writing, but we all get so busy and we aspire to do all of those things, and if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't be your best self for everybody else.